voice note, and as always, it's James here. Today we're looking at Gareth Bale, the player fans love to hate, or shall I say, love and hate. Now, ever since Bale moved to Madrid from Tottenham in 2013, the fans have always seem to have questioned his ability, even when in the most clutchest moments he produces the winning goals or delivers the critical assist. You think of the Champions League. His medal collection at Madrid shows his contribution. At times, I think the criticism is unfair, but why has this happened? It's happened because Madrid fans and their front office thought he was the next Ronaldo. And we have to be honest, we did think he's the next Ronaldo. You're seeing at Tottenham when he had the haircut, standing with the free kick, and the amount of goals he was scoring. Everyone thought he was going to be the Ronaldo type. But when Ronaldo left, he hasn't stepped up. Whether that's injuries, or it's just general out of form. He has shown that he cannot replace him. He's been unable to get out of the shadow of Ronaldo and form his own identity, become the alpha, provide that step up. Obviously as well, Benzema's failed to do that as well, but no one had that expectation of Benzema to come there and score the amount of goals he scored, amount of goals or similar amount of goals that Ronaldo did. With Bale, it was the pace, it was the skill, and everyone just thought that he would be the continuation of Ronaldo when and if he left. But instead, the frustration has grown due to, as we said, form injuries. But more importantly, the development of Mbappe, who Madrid fans voted for as the player they wanted to sign as the replacement for Bale, as well as the replacement for Ronaldo as per Marca. Further to this, when you look back at Bale's goal record, there is a massive cause for concern. Bale has not been productive enough. He's only scored 7 goals in the league, registering 2 assists. Meanwhile, Ronaldo, who Madrid thought they could manage without, has scored 19 goals and registered 8 assists. 19 goals and 8 assists. This is a player you thought you could do without and didn't. You knew Bale's injury issues and you did not find an adequate replacement. And then you look at the quotes about Bale from Courtois and you feel like it was planned. A PR exercise, to show Madrid don't want him. To make Bale feel like he has a decision to make. But this has always been the case, with questions about his performance or future being discussed by media puppets controlled by the Madrid leadership. I remember going to Madrid and asking some of the fans what they thought about Bale, and a lot of them didn't rate him. All of them said that they wanted Mbappe. You heard names like Hazard. I think I heard Harry Kane being mentioned. Anyone who was in form and wasn't injured, was mentioned. They expected Ronaldo 2.0, but what they got is an elite player with injuries due to his style of play. But he had similar injuries to this at Tottenham, a number of muscle injuries. This is to be expected. I think just because of the way that Ronaldo never was injured, never rested, they just thought they were going to get the same. I personally hope that he goes back to Tottenham or leads the recovery at Manchester United. He's never been loved or respected at Madrid. He's always been in the shadow of Ronaldo, and you can tell that Madrid have always wanted Neymar or Mbappe. And even when Ronaldo left, there was still a feeling that Bale was not the main man and he would never be the main man. And considering the fact that Madrid are aging in key positions, left back Marcelo, centre back Sergio Ramos, centre midfield Luka Modric. The selling of Bale, who I expect to get around 70 to 80 million, that would allow them to go after players like Mbappe, Hazard, Milinkovic-Savic, or even Son, who, to be honest, his form has surprised me this season. But what you do notice when you go to Wembley is the amount of South Korean fans who are now going to watch Tottenham play. as well as the sponsorships from South Korea that creates. And then when you think about it, Madrid always go off the play who's marketable. David Beckham comes to mind. You know, I think Son is the type of player that they're looking for, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up spending big on Mbappe. For me, he is the future. He is the future, and Mbappe also offers that marketability and that long term player that you can build around. But with Madrid, things can change in an instant. So, for example, Solari doesn't really rate Bell at the moment, and he's playing the young Brazilian ahead of him. But at the end of the season, a new manager comes in, and Bell could be back into the fold, um, and his form could pick up. But there will always be a question about his injuries. But also the fact that Qatar's questioned his commitment in relation to the language and not hanging around with players. I personally just feel like it's a dead duck, and I just feel like his career is over at Madrid. But then there's another question: was his career a success at Madrid? And a few of my friends asked me that: was his Madrid career a success? And the answer is that yes. He's won so many medals at Madrid. He's made so many moments at Madrid. His goal record is exceptional at Madrid. Obviously, not his individual Liga record, but his collective goals. His trophy haul. I don't think we'll ever get another British player ever, ever winning that much medals abroad. The only problem is the club that he goes to. I want him to go back to Tottenham as a Tottenham fan, but you can't go back to Tottenham because it looks like he's failed that to go to a lesser club. He has to go to a club like Manchester United. I personally would love him also at AC Milan to kind of rebuild AC Milan, and also it would bring another all-star player to Serie A, which it's really needed. It is really needed, or even a deal where they spot Gareth Bale for a card there into Milan. Um, Madrid need another striker as well. Benzema is not the long term answer either. So if you're able to get something for Gareth Bale, I think it's just a win win for everyone. But if the dressing room is also not getting on with Bale, and you saw the celebrations when he scored the penalty, he didn't even want to celebrate with Lucas Vazquez. That shows you what the mentality is at Madrid, and that is not the atmosphere that you know Gareth wants to be in, especially considering the fact that he's just got a daughter, a young daughter. So it's going to be an interesting time for Madrid because I feel like there's going to be a rebuild coming up, but I don't think Gareth Bale's future is anywhere in from Madrid. I just I hope that I actually hope that he does actually you know I hope that he actually sorts things out with the players, scores the goal to win the Champions League, and leaves amicably because he's done so much for the club. He's also done a lot for representation of British footballers as well. So you hope that he leaves amicably, gets a good deal for a big club and leaves. But knowing Madrid, as we said, there's so much uncertainty with them. 1 minute he's out of the frame, next minute he's back in the frame, scores loads of goals, and everyone's friends. So that's just Madrid for you. But yeah, that's this episode. Tell me what you think. Am I wrong? Was Bell gonna stay? Yeah, thanks for listening.